Hey y'all, Melissa here with you today, and today's project is super quick to make for yourself or as a gift in case you forgot someone on your list. This headband ear warmer has shaping so that it has more fabric to cover your ears, and it is perfect to sew up at the last minute. I have a free pattern available to make this, and if you check out the video description, there is a blog post and that has all the details for getting the free pattern. Then you're going to need outer fabric and inner fabric, as well as a hand sewing needle and your sewing machine. You could possibly hand sew this if you don't have a sewing machine, but I'm going to show you how to do it on the machine. Make sure that your fabric has stretch to it. So sweatshirt fleece, stretch fake fur, like I have here, stretch fleece, French terry, all of those types of fabrics will work well for this project. So gather your fabric, grab your pattern, and then I'll meet you back here to show you how to sew it up. Once you have your pattern printed, make sure that you attach the little extension to the edge of the pattern. I did that so that you could print everything on one page instead of having to print two. And then you want to cut your pattern out of both your outer and your lining fabric, and you'll notice the stretch direction is marked on the pattern, and so you want to make sure that your headband pieces stretch lengthwise. Then you're going to place them right sides together, and I'm going to clip these in place. And then we're going to stitch. I'm going to stitch the straight line across the top and the curved line across the bottom. And I'm going to stop about 1 inch from each end. So I will start stitching 1 inch in and stop 1 inch in. I'm using a zigzag stitch that is 1.5 millimeters wide and 2.5 millimeters long, and I'm sewing on a 1/2 inch seam allowance. From this point where we've sewn those 2 long edges, we're going to trim the seams down to 1/4 inch. Don't trim on the ends where you didn't sew yet. So just trim down where you stitched. All right, now we're going to turn this So here it is turned right side out, and what I want to do now is I want to take the 2 outer edges, put them right sides together, and we're going to stitch those. Still using that 1/2 inch seam allowance. Once that is stitched, then flip your headband however you need to so that you can get the right sides together on the lining and stitch those. All right, so you'll see what that does when you stitch all of those together is that it leaves you a gap on each side. And what you want to do here is you want to fold that in, fold the seam allowance in, and then we're going to use a hand sewing needle and a ladder stitch to finish these edges. So I'm not actually going to show this part on this video here because it's hard to see with this fuzzy fabric anyway. But I do have a link in the video description below that shows how to do a ladder stitch on much easier to see fabric so you can see how to finish up these 2 gaps. Once you have finished sewing up those gaps with that blind stitch, then turn your ear warmer right side out and just kind of go and finger press all of the seam allowances. And then it's ready to wear. So the way this is designed, the seam is going to go underneath your hair. And then where it curves down, that's the extra fabric to cover your ears. So for more quick projects, check out the video I have linked here. These are things you can sew up quickly in case you forgot somebody on your gift list.